I started just getting really deeply involved with meeting individuals who are blind, low vision. And then I also met Christine Ha. So she asked me, could you teach me how to put on my makeup as a blind woman? Asked me if I could teach 30 blind women how to do the same thing back in those days. It went really, really well. This is a very boutique, unique, immersive experience. It is actually hosted by a blind host. Participate actually are blindfolded for team building skills, communication skills, and learn about empathy. As a sighted person, it's very humbling, and it definitely makes you realize that we take that for granted every single day.
A green tinted screen and braille lettering pops up that turns into the white Lighthouse of Houston logo. The Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art pops up on screen. There's a flash, then clips of Jennifer's eye, her walking down the hall, and reading braille appear. A montage of clips from episodes of the podcast begins with Jennifer talking to our guests and smiling. It zooms in on the Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. I am, of course, your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish. And today we are joined by someone whose work is helping reshape how people experience inclusion and accessibility. None other than Miss Chelsea Nguyen, Marketing and Sales Director for Beyond Our Sight. So to familiarize you all, Beyond Our Sight is an adaptive experience where people who are blind or visually impaired host, and they guide participants through team building exercises without the use of their vision in hopes of creating a deeper understanding of blind and low vision experiences. So y'all, fun fact, 6 years ago, this thing was called Dialogue in the Dark, and your girl here, myself, was trained as a host or a facilitator, as we called it back then. And then this was before COVID paused the initiative, so that was very unfortunate. We were so excited about where it was going. So it's super excited to see that it's revived and reimagined, and we got Miss Chelsea here leading the outreach and impact. So it's very awesome. Before we get started, of course, we're going to describe our set for the blind listeners. We are sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables beside us, and then behind us is a white brick wall with blue lights and a neon lighthouse sign. So, Chelsea.
Yes.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm
Welcome
great.
to the show.
Thank you.
It's funny because I saw you a couple weeks ago just roaming the halls, and I was like, and then I saw Scott.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, what's going on here, man? And so this is so cool. So, can you start by telling us a little bit about your connection with the blind and low vision community?
Absolutely. So when you refer to Scott, just so everybody knows, Scott
Right.
Garrett is actually the founder of Beyond Our Sight. So he's not here with us today, but I am definitely here representing his company.
Yes.
And as for me, I got involved with the blind community back in, I would say, 2010, 2011. And I started out as a volunteer reading for Sight into Sound Radio.
She's got a great reading voice.
Thank you, and so do you.
Thank you.
We are perfect for this job, right?
There you go.
But no, I started volunteering with Sight into Sound Radio, which is a nonprofit that reads for the blind community, and was involved with them reading the Houston Chronicle live for about 8 years, and different periodicals and magazines. And then from there, I started just getting really deeply involved with meeting individuals who are blind, low vision, and just getting super fascinated by all the amazing things that I never knew that assistive technology can do, that, employment and all this kind of stuff that I had no idea. And then I also met Christine Ha,
Yes.
who was the Master Chef, who won Master
course.
Chef in 2012. Sight into Sound was out there, and I was with Sight into Sound, and we interviewed her.
Cool.
She was actually the keynote for White Cane Day.
Very cool. Yeah, she's been on the podcast as well.
Yeah. And so she asked me, Chelsea, since you were a hairdresser, could you teach me how to put on my makeup as a blind woman?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I've never tried that before, but we did it. She invited me to her home. It went successfully. And then DARS, the Department of Rehab Services for Blind Services back then, asked me if I could teach 30 blind women how to do the same thing back in those days.
That's very cool.
It went really, really well. And the next thing I know, I was teaching blind men how to shave, how to tie a tie, all these employability skills and life skills. And then it went viral across the state of Texas.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
So what then drew you to Beyond Our Sight?
Actually, Beyond Our Sight found me.
Yeah?
So Naomi, not Naomi, I'm sorry, Paloma.
Paloma Marquez.
Yes, Paloma Marquez.
Yes.
She's a good friend of mine too.
Hi, Paloma.
Hi, Paloma and Naomi. Love you guys. So Paloma is actually a blind host for Beyond Our Sight, who's done a lot of programs, and she was there from the beginning, I believe, like you.
Yeah. Yes, she was.
Yeah. And so we got reconnected through actually being on the choir here at the Lighthouse for the Blind.
Yes.
So remember when we
When we
went and
sang the
sang
national
for the
anthem.
national anthem for
Yes.
the Astros game? She and I got reconnected after years of not seeing each other.
Wow.
And then after singing the national anthem, she reaches out and says, "Hey Chelsea, we're actually looking for a sighted assistant for our presentations with Beyond Our Sight for Raytheon." In Dallas. For those who may or may not know, Raytheon is an oil and gas company.
I got it. Okay.
And so anyway, I actually was asked to be a host, a sighted host, and then they actually had found somebody who lived locally over there and was able to do it, so I wasn't needed. But then Scott Garrett said, we actually kind of want to grow the Houston market again. And would you be interested in being our marketing and sales director, since I was already so highly involved in the blind community?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into what Beyond Our Sight is. So explain to those that don't know what exactly it is and how it differs from other training programs.
Yes. So what's really wonderful about it is it's a very boutique, unique, immersive experience where individuals, it is actually hosted by a blind host. For instance, Paloma,
Yeah.
Naomi, or Melissa, who are just a few of our Houston blind hosts.
Yes.
And we work with all organizations, whether private sector, public sector, schools, and all kinds of organizations. But we're asked to come in and do basically an immersive team building experience and skill building experiences where the individuals who participate actually are blindfolded for a short period of time. And we have them do experiences and activities together for team building skills, communication skills, and then they go through these various activities, learn about empathy, and to kind of feel somewhat of what it may be like to be a blind person. But we definitely don't try to assume that that's exactly what a blind person experiences every day. And so we have a blind host who really explains all those questions and kind of differentiates what it's like to be blind versus, being a blind person themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
So you blindfold them and not put them in a dark room, because back when I trained, it was like dark, blacked out room.
No, actually, it is a well-lit room with blindfolds on. So at any given point, anyone who is sighted, who may want to take off their blindfolds, maybe they get nervous, maybe they feel a little anxious, they're not used to that sensation,
Yes.
then they can voluntarily remove the blindfolds at any given time.
Man, people would, some people freaked out, like freaked out. And it was like, wow,
Right.
dude. So just it brings out the raw,
Absolutely.
stuff out of people, man. And it was so interesting to take people's sight away. And it was it was kind of awesome. So I'm just because we did it with coworkers, you know what I mean? When we trained here and we did a couple of sessions, it was like, now look at you.
Yeah. I think it's, if anything, as a sighted person, it's very humbling.
Yeah.
And it definitely makes you realize that we take that for granted every single day.
For sure. How does the experience foster empathy, inclusion, and teamwork?
Yeah, so when they're blindfolded, the participants in our events and our workshops, they naturally feel empathy because now you're kind of feeling for that moment what it's like to be in someone else's shoes. What it could possibly be like for them on a day-to-day basis to have to learn to walk to your table or learn to, feel what's in front of you and needing audio description or people to verbally explain to you what your surroundings are because you can't see it, right?
Right.
So I think it just naturally fosters that. And then as for team building, when you're actually blindfolded and you're in a team with, at a table with, 7 to 10 people per table, and you're asked to fulfill a task,
Right.
complete a task. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a surprise.
No, totally. We're not going to go into
We
that.
don't want to give away the juicy details.
No.
Because we really want people to be intrigued, and we really want you guys to bring us in
Yeah.
and do these experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, maybe to our listeners out there, and what we talked about a little bit, but what types of organizations do you guys work with? And then what kind of feedback have you received from participants so far?
Yeah. So I'll start off with companies that we've worked with in the Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Raytheon, oil and gas companies, Microsoft. To be honest, it's lots of really big names that we've worked with, as well as smaller companies. But we basically work with any and all organizations that are interested in team building skills and bringing those experiences into their organizations. So we are open to work with anyone, school districts even. So anyone who has the budget and would like to hire us to come in, we are happy to. And what was your second question? I think the reviews, right?
Yes. What did people think of it? What was the feedback?
So on our website, for anybody who ends up going to beyondoursite.net, you actually get some live testimonials that were recorded. People say it's humbling, it's fun, it's interactive, it is life-changing, and no pun intended, but it's eye-opening, right? To experience what it's like to be in other people's shoes, and fun, interactive. I've already said that, but yeah. There's so many other things. And I would also say that it made their teams stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
And communicate better, because when you can't rely mostly on your vision to complete a task, and you have to rely on other skills, and you
gotta talk.
You've got to communicate.
You've got to communicate.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's like when I did it back in the day, it was like sometimes the quiet folks would be the loudest.
Oh,
you
really?
know, like whenever like they with the blindfold on or the room dark, like it was like like now, like they're talking now, boy, because they want to get this task done or do whatever. And so it was interesting to see like how personalities would kind of not necessarily do a 180, but like shift a little bit and so that was kind of fun. Did you guys travel? Are you traveling?
We do. Actually, the group, all of the presenters can travel, and at times when needed, presenters in that local area might be utilized, and when traveling may not be needed. What people may or may not know is we do hybrid as well as virtual.
I heard something about this. How does that work?
It's amazing. So, unfortunately, when we first launched back 5 years ago, COVID hit 12 days later.
Right. Yes.
And so,
thank you. I was out of an extra job.
Yeah.
No side hustle for Jennifer.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, that kind of kicked off Beyond Our Site to go virtual.
Got it.
And so during that time, we did lots of virtual. And then when COVID actually lifted and everything went back more to normal, then we were able to do more in-person experiences. And then now we're able to do all of that.
How do you do that hybrid?
So hybrid, it's really interesting. There's activities that people can use things in their homes, right? So everybody gets on like a video call. And then our blind host, as well as our sighted assistant, joins in, and we have everybody on a virtual video. We can, and so the sighted assistants, that, for instance, that would be me or Scott, or some others. We would be there to be able to help, describe what's happening on the screen for our blind host, and then mostly our blind host would, walk everybody through the activities. And then let's just say we would either ship and mail certain items to them, or it might be items that they have around the house. So instead of everybody being in a room and we giving them blindfolds, we might say, get a blindfold or get a, handkerchief or whatever it is and go ahead and blindfold yourself.
So they had to have their cameras on because you had to make sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I was like,
No
how are we
cheating.
trusting these people?
Yeah, no cheating. As a sighted assistant, I'd be able to, see the screen and who's got their blindfolds on or not, and then who was able to actually, complete a certain activity or whatnot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then our blind host would, of course, walk everybody through and the various activities and exercises. And then at the end, there would be Q&A. So lots and lots of questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So can you tell us kind of in detail, not too much detail, but
Sure.
like what the participants can expect during the experience, like from beginning to end?
Sure. Well, it's first of all, I want to address it's very safe.
Yeah.
Right? We make sure whether it's in person or whether it's virtual, it's a very safe learning environment. So if it's in a room, we may have, we can have anywhere from 30 people in a room at one time, or we can do different activities to have more, right? And so let's just give an example that if it was in a room where we have like 30 participants, we have 3 tables with, let's say, up to 10 people per table in these groups. And well, let's say, for example, we may have 3 letters that we would blindfold everybody, right? Have them get to their tables and like walk to their tables somehow safely and make sure that there's only
That's right.
10 people per table.
walk into the
no
tables.
cheating. So there's no 2 people in the same chair.
Right.
And if there is, you've got to get up at it with your blindfold on and go find another empty seat, which is pretty interesting.
Yes.
There's a lot of communication and a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
And then we would hand out tactile letters, let's just say, A, B, or C. So imagine, so most sighted people don't know Braille, right?
Of course.
But we know how to recognize the shape of the letter A,
Right.
the shape of a letter B, or shape of a letter C. So if, we have 30 people, we randomly hand each one of them a letter, a tactile letter.
Right.
And they would have to say out loud, like, what their letter is, like, A, B, or C.
Got it.
And then somehow we say, okay, there's 3 tables in here, A, B, or C. Go find your teams, go find your table, but you're blindfolded.
That's awesome.
You cannot cheat. So imagine everybody, they'll figure it out because we are not going to give all the instructions. We just give you the goal and you have to figure it out.
Exactly.
So then there's like, okay, I'm at table A, or somebody else will scream, I'm at table B, or I'm at table C. And you have to go find them.
Yeah.
Using voice, touch, feel.
Are the tables labeled or just what the first person just goes like, I'm A?
I believe the tables are labeled.
Oh God, how do they find that?
Well,
I don't remember that part.
I think there's a tactile
on
letter
the
on the
table,
table
too. Nice.
Too.
Got it.
So then you're gonna actually literally have to feel for that tactile marker.
Sweet.
Yeah. So imagine that, right? So it's kind of like really, really immersive and interactive. But that's just one of the many fun activities.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
going to take a long time.
Yeah. So that part just alone may take 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
But it gets everybody talking.
Yeah.
And people who have never worked in teams together now suddenly made new friends.
Exactly.
So
cool.
Learn how to use their voice, learn how to communicate properly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about how people can get involved, whether it's participants or partners or supporters.
Yeah. So we would love that people would just share the word. Word of mouth is always the best form of advertisement. We are growing and developing in the Houston area first because most of our blind hosts are here. And so if you hear this podcast or see it, and this is something that your organization is, interested in, or your school, your group, thinks that it would bring value to your groups, we would love to have you reach out to us at beyondoursite.net, and on there you can contact us through there, and request a consultation, request even demos. We can actually do demos, whether virtually or in person, so that you can kind of get a gist of what the feeling would be like for your group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, I'm here to tell you guys firsthand. Every employer needs to do this. Like, it is like mind-blowing. Like, we even had just so much more team bonding, and especially working at the Lighthouse with, for our sighted coworkers, they had so much more empathy for us and got it a little more,
Yeah.
And it was, so employers, do this. Do it.
Yeah, and I'll feel like I think even like schools.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that you hear about, children being bullied in school because they're
Yes.
different.
Exactly.
A lot of companies and teams have a lot of diversity and a lot of different employees that are working together who have different skill sets or may have different disabilities. And so I think when you bring a kind of experience in this, even though it's mostly being blindfolded, but it gives you that empathy to understand what it's like to be more compassionate and understanding with individuals who are just different, who have different needs than you,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so we're about to wrap up here, but before we do you have any final thoughts, especially to our listeners who are blind or low vision and wondering how to get involved in something like this or be a part of this?
Yeah. As we're growing, we are always going to keep on looking for more blind presenters and speakers to work with us. I would love to get to the point where we're so busy we'd grow so exponentially that we would need to hire more blind individuals, because another big mission and passion for Scott and Beyond Our Sight is creating employment.
Yeah.
For individuals who are blind.
Yes.
So, I think that is even better. And another reason why, if anyone who's blind or visually impaired wants to get involved with us, that would be great. Spread the word so that we can grow and we can create more job opportunities out there. And just reaching out to us on Facebook, LinkedIn especially. And then if you have any groups that you'd like us to come out and speak to and do a presentation for, reach out to me. As the marketing and sales director, that's my job. And I'd love to come out and talk to you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Chelsea, thank you so much for sharing your story and the incredible work happening over there at Beyond Our Sight. This is so cool. I'm so glad it's back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you guys, I think the Lighthouse of Houston, thank you guys so much for, allowing us to come here and present about this and share with us. And also the Lighthouse of Houston is partnering with us too, so that we can actually do some experiences here. So
beautiful.
Yeah. We hope to bring more companies and corporations out here to even do tours and sites of the Lighthouse for the Blind.
Love
and
it.
partner with you guys.
Y'all, this program is a powerful reminder that when we shift our perspectives, we open doors to a deeper understanding and more inclusive community. So this is good stuff, man. Y'all need to get involved. To our listeners, we hope today's episode inspires you to explore new ways of thinking about inclusion. As always, guys, you can find more episodes wherever you get your podcasts or on our YouTube channel. And be sure to follow us on social media for updates and visit the website at houstonlighthouse.org to learn more about our mission. Until next time, stay strong and keep breaking those barriers.